Bronx Remembered by Nicholasa Mohr is a compilation of short stories and a novella by the acclaimed New Yorican writer. Originally published by Harper Row in 1975, the book features 11 short stories and one novella, all revolving around the lives of Puerto Ricans in New York City during the 1940s and 1950s. This work, which was a finalist for the National Book Award for Children's Books, is aimed at young readers from grades 3 to 8. In a succinct introduction, Mohr provides a historical overview of Puerto Rican immigration to New York City. While the first wave of immigrants arrived in the mid-19th century, mass migration from Puerto Rico to the mainland United States became feasible and affordable only after World War II. This led to a significant increase in migration, with many settling in New York's Spanish Harlem and later spreading to other neighborhoods. Puerto Ricans made a lasting impact on New York City's culture and community, becoming integral to the American landscape as they pursued the American dream. The stories in Bronx Remembered vividly depict this hopeful era, particularly focusing on the period from 1946 to 1956. One notable story from the collection is A Very Special Pet, which tells of the Fernandez family and their pets, a cat named Marialu, and a cherished hen named John Crofo, nicknamed Joan Crawford. When Mr. Fernandez falls ill and money becomes scarce due to his inability to work, Mrs. Fernandez makes a difficult decision to sacrifice John Crofo for the family's sustenance, all while trying to shield her children from the harsh reality. She pursues John Crofo around the kitchen, striking her several times with the broom. The children rush in, pleading with Mrs. Fernandez to cease. Realizing she couldn't bring herself to kill the hen, and knowing her family wouldn't eat their beloved pet regardless, she relents. Mrs. Fernandez gives John Crofo a sip of liquor to revive her from the ordeal. Meanwhile, as she tidies the kitchen, Mrs. Fernandez daydreams of returning to the farm in Puerto Rico, where food was always abundant. In Shoes for Hector, the titular character, valedictorian of his school, faces a dilemma. He needs to look sharp for his graduation ceremony, but the family's finances are strained. Uncle Luis offers Hector his own orange shoes, which don't match Hector's navy blue suit but fit perfectly. Hector wrestles with the decision: should he wear the comfortable shoes to please his family, or decline and risk hurting Uncle Luis's feelings and embarrassing his parents? This small moral quandary carries significant implications as Hector navigates his first steps into adulthood. Mr. Mendelssohn chronicles the bond between an elderly Jewish man and the Puerto Rican Suarez family. While misunderstood by his own relatives, Mr. Mendelssohn discovers a surprising sense of belonging and solace with the Suarezes. In turn, he imparts valuable lessons to them, forging a meaningful connection. In The Wrong Lunch Line, two school friends, Yvette and Mildred, find themselves inadvertently breaking the rules. Yvette, a Puerto Rican girl, and Mildred, who is Jewish, stand together in the lunch line. However, it's a Jewish holy day, and Yvette is not supposed to be in that line according to the rules. The girls face consequences for their actions, but in doing so, they come to see the line rules as a form of segregation. Their resistance against this injustice strengthens their friendship. In Princess, a somber tale unfolds. The story centers on Princess, a small fluffy white dog cherished deeply by Dona Nerida. With no children and few other interests, Dona Nerida and her husband pour all their affection into Princess. When the dog passes away, Dona Nerida is devastated. Her grief becomes consuming, trapping her in a cycle where she cannot move forward. She fixates on Princess's memory, unable to find healing. The remaining stories in this collection include A New Window Display, Tell the Truth, Once Upon a Time, A Lesson in Fortune-Telling, Uncle Claudio, Love with Alleluia, and the novella Herman and Alice. Like the other pieces in Bronx Remembered, Nicholasa Mohr continues to paint vivid portraits of Puerto Rican life in New York City during the mid-20th century. Through these stories, she explores timeless themes such as love and loss, belonging and isolation, and the clash between tradition and modernity. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.